I'm Major Jeff Cotton of the Dallas Police Department's Crime Against Persons Division. I'm here tonight to talk to you about a series of sexual assault offenses that are occurring south and west of Fair Park. Primarily these are in the Spring neighborhood area and also in the metropolitan area of southern Dallas. To date we have 7 victims. There's 6 occurrences. In one circumstance, we had 2 victims victimized at the same time. These offenses occur from June 22nd through September 1st. They all occur between midnight and 6 a.m. And the locations roughly are bound by East RL to the north, Haskell, South Haskell to the east, I don't know what they have there. Spring Avenue to the south, and then Malcolm X to the west. Our suspect, he's a black male. He's 25 to 30 years of age. He's 5'6" to 5'11", 200 pounds. He wears a t-shirt and a pair of shorts, and he has glasses. Those are prescription glasses. And he always covers his face. Now he's covering his face, and he's used different manners in which to cover his face, but generally it's a piece of clothing that he uses to cover his face. Please, Monica, change it. Let me talk a little bit about what is occurring here. In each circumstance, our victims are walking either by themselves, and in one circumstance they have family members with them. But they're in isolated areas. The victim approaches them on foot. He is armed with a handgun, and he demands the victims, or guides them through a demand to a secluded area nearby where he sexually assaults them. There are no additional injuries to the victims other than the sexual assault, and then he lets them go. We have a possible vehicle. We have 2 of them here. Either it's a gray Honda Civic 4-door or an older model gray Volvo 4-door sedan. And here's the locations. And I'm going to read off some information to you while you'll have this up on the screen. Our first offense occurred on June 22nd at 4:45 in the morning in the 4600 block of Metropolitan. That's the one on the top right corner there, and that was a Saturday morning. The second offense occurred on June 30th at 2 o'clock in the morning in the 4100 block of Malcolm X Boulevard, and that is on the bottom. That was on Sunday morning. Now we did not have another offense until August 20th, and that offense occurred at 1:30 in the morning at 4300 block of Spring. 2 victims were victimized there. So I talk about 7 victims in 6 locations. 4300 Spring, I had 2 victims at the same time. On August 22nd at 5:45 in the morning at 2800 Warren, that is on the left. That's a Thursday morning. August 30th, 5:45 a.m., 3200 Meadow. That's the top left. That was a Friday morning. And our most recent offense was Sunday morning, September 1st at 4:15 a.m. in the 3800 block of Spring. Your Crime Stopper slide. Guys, we'll come back to this slide if you need that. Certainly, Crime Stoppers is offering a reward up to $5,000 for the arrest and indictment of a suspect. In this case, we're asking the public's assistance in contacting us. The number is on the screen there. Also, I want to give some precautionary advice to those folks living in these neighborhoods to be aware that we have a possible predator amongst them, and to take the precautions not to walk alone, walk with others, if at all possible, use a vehicle. Okay, anybody have any questions?
Can you describe describe why we're just now hearing about this? Obviously, we know it happened in Lake Highlands. That was high profile. Right away, you guys were on it and getting information out. So why is it that we're just now hearing about it after this many victims?
The 2 victims that from June, the information that we developed at the time did not indicate that there was a serial. We had this gap, and we don't know. That's part of our investigation, is why we had this large gap of 6 weeks, all the way from that part in June all the way into August. Since August 20th, all the way through September 1st, we've had those 5 occurrences. Certainly, you could see the trend there. We are still working with our victims to gather information to refine what we do know at this time and relate the offenses.
Is there anything in common with these women? Are they out walking somewhere, or where are they? What are they doing when they're getting approached?
Our victims all range from late teens all the way into their 40s. The commonality is the time of day, the geographic area of our city, and that they're walking, and they're approached while they're on foot.
You mentioned that at one point in time they were with some family. Can you describe how that went down? Is that the incident where we had the 2 victims, or?
It was not the incident where we had 2 victims. There was actually 1 victim that was there with some older children, and that's really all I can relate on that.
How about a sketch?
Don't have a sketch yet, JD. That's one of the things that we hope as we continue to work with our victims. You know, we treat our victims with as much respect as we can. We allow them as much time as they need to begin the healing process, if that's even what we could call it. But we certainly respect their ability to be able to talk to us, and as they are able to visit with us, then we ask those type of questions, and we hope to get that information. What is consistent, it is a black male. He is in his 20s. You saw the height range, and the weight is pretty consistent. They all mention he's wearing glasses. He has a handgun. He's wearing a t-shirt. He's wearing shorts. He approaches them on foot. We feel as if it's the same suspect.
What tips do you give women, I guess, to avoid, I guess, when they're out walking, protect themselves or pay attention to surroundings?
We hope everybody can have an opportunity to have some sort of friend help them get to where they need to get to that time of day, so that they're not walking alone in the neighborhoods.
Just one more question, that's it, guys.
Does he say anything to them that has showed up in each case?
No, he's not saying anything. Well, the other thing I want to mention, JD, is that you talked about this, is his face. Every time he puts some sort of article of clothing over his face, so he does take away from his face in that regard.
Any information about the shooting earlier today?
You talking about the one? Hang on one second here, guys, and I'll flip over to that one.
Royal Wing.
One thing I do want, guys, I want to go back to that the map on the rapist. I want to make sure you guys have that, okay?